welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be like a kind of different video. So, today I have here with me Cool Scorpion. If you wanna,
Hello.
yeah. So he makes stop motions and stuff. And today we're gonna give our thoughts and just like overall like review on Spider-Man: Homecoming. So, yeah. So do you want to start? At least like put some like at
Oh,
least yeah. Go ahead.
well, to start, Spider-Man: Homecoming was a movie that came out in 2017, and it was like a continuation after Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
Uh, this was where Disney bought up the rights to Spider-Man and they added it to the MCU basically.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So basically, this movie, like in my opinion, was like to me, it was like a fresh start to like
Yeah,
like it was like a new.
it kind of was
Yeah.
considering the last Spider-Man movies were yeah, they were fine. They were fine.
Yeah. I think to me, I think I like enjoyed Tom Holland's like take more than Andrew's, just because like it was like a more open world, like with the Avengers and everything. Um. And
Yeah,
and
true.
also like I know like people complaining about like him having a mentor, but I think that was like the whole point of his character arc to like No Way Home. So
Yeah,
like he'll become his own hero in No Way Home. That's exactly what happened. So yeah, I think Iron Man was actually like a pretty cool mentor, you know, because like in the
yeah, it
comics
was.
like they hate each other and then they just flip that around in the movies. So I think I like that.
They didn't. Well, actually, they didn't exactly hate each other, but during the
Yeah,
first
just
Civil War comic,
you like
they were
yeah.
kind of like business partners, but Spider-Man just switched
Yeah,
sides.
basically like, some like little beef, basically. So yeah, so they somewhat
Yeah,
just had like
well,
tiny bit of beef, but yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
yeah,
Um, Also like I think his love interest, well, not like in the first, well, like MJ, she was a cool love interest, probably like my second favorite love interest for Spider Man, like in live action.
yeah,
Although like Liz, she was like all right, she wasn't like terrible.
yeah. She was fine. I don't think she ever appears in the comics though.
Yeah, I think like for example, like in this particular Spider-Man, she does show up. Like like,
Oh,
yeah. So they have like a character named Liz, and she has like a crush on Peter, whatever. Um,
oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember her in the comics, or I know that Betty Brant's in the comics, but for Tom Holland's Betty, it's like way different. She's like a kid,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, I think the plot was just like pretty good overall, like a fresh new take,
yeah.
like
It
simple.
wasn't this time. It wasn't an origin story, which was nice
Yeah,
because the first two.
yeah, and plus like we're gonna get like his quick origin story in the series, and I think it works better. Like I think like they
Yeah,
did like the right thing to just like skip over it. Um,
yeah. It was a good idea.
yeah.
Um, I liked this movie's version of the Vulture. It was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I
Correct.
also
Yeah.
liked how they made it look a little more modern instead of it being like a silly costume. Like that's good for the comics, but just not for
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. Cause like I think I don't really see another way that they could have like pulled off his suit. I think that was like the right thing to do, and plus it wasn't bad either. It looked pretty sick to me. So
It did. Also, spoiler here if nobody's watched Morbius, but
yeah.
he also somehow reappears with that suit in it.
Yeah. 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 He does. Um. What did he say? Oh yeah, and then yeah. So the plot was good. Um. The characters were also pretty good. I think like the second best thing about the movie. Um. I think Ned, he was like a good comedic relief,
Yeah, he
and
was. He
yeah,
was.
and he has like much more to do, like in like Far From Home and No Way Home. So, not like
Yeah,
not entirely comedic, but yeah.
but he's also a new best friend for Peter Parker instead of
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not Norman. Harry Osborn.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, because they're probably gonna like touch upon that in his next trilogy. So
Some people have had theories that he may become the new Hobgoblin.
yeah,
I really hope he doesn't.
yeah, me neither. Because like the whole identity thing and him forgetting. I mean, like they could like just like make him like know again with like Doctor
Mm,
Strange's
true.
magic, but we'll see how that plays out. But yeah,
Also,
so
another thing that was good about Homecoming was that there
yeah,
was only one suit,
mm-hmm,
which was something the next two had some problems with, that there were multiple suits.
yeah,
So the first one was in that spectrum.
yeah. Well, they had like so obviously like the Stark suit, the tech one, and then they had like the homemade one that he first started with before we got this like the Stark suit.
Yeah,
Like
there was that.
yeah, he made it homemade whatever. So I think that was like pretty
Also, when
cool.
you compare Tom Holland Spider-Man creating his own suit compared to like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, he's an absolute noob at it.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I like how he also had web shooters and he made his webs like during class and everything. So
Yeah,
yeah, the story is just like pretty good for this movie. I think it was like a fresh start. I liked how like it wasn't exactly like an origin story.
yeah.
So
That's
yeah, I think it was. So so what are your thoughts like on just like the story, the plot overall?
I think the story and plot overall is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie, like most MCU movies, leads off a lot of other films. Because take the Vulture's tech for example, that leads off of 2012 Avengers, and of course the
Yeah,
Spider-Man story itself leads off of Civil War. So aside from that, I think it's quite good.
yeah, that was like a little error, but yeah, it wasn't like a huge nitpick. Like
Yeah,
so. Yeah, the characters were pretty good, especially
they
Peter.
were.
Yeah, yeah. So I think for me, I say like Ned. I think like Ned's at least like not like the second best character, maybe at least like top three or like top five. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
something
something.
around there.
Yeah. Um. Also, the score for this movie was pretty good. Like in the intro, it was like,
Yes, absolutely. That was
yeah,
good.
yeah, I loved it. It was like at first it was like a remake of obviously the original
The
Spider-Man.
original trilogy.
Yeah, uh, and then it was like and then like throughout the movie like their version like their own original score was just like pretty good. So yeah, and I like I liked how they talked about like the Avengers. It was like a lot of like not like world building, but like it makes sense since Peter's in a much bigger universe that he
Yeah.
mentioned the Avengers, and so has Ned too. So
It also kind of shows how people view the Avengers from a public view, like different people's view.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was
Shows
just
the good and
yeah. I think because I know like Liz, she was a good like love interest for this movie, but you could tell that they were obviously setting up like MJ to have like a much bigger role in the sequel in Far From Home, so that like they kept
and
teasing her and stuff.
she did.
Yeah. So um, and they also yeah. So the score was good, and I guess like the fights. I mean, there weren't like crazy amount of fights, but like when
The
they
last
were,
the last fight scene was quite good.
yeah, yeah, it was decent. I would say like it's the best, obviously, out of like any Spider-Man movie. There's obviously like, you know, greater in my opinion, but like for a movie like this, small scale, I think it was pretty good.
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
and I think Tom Holland was just like he acted like as Peter, like really good, like his performance and stuff, and it was overall. I think his best performance was obviously No Way Home. Um,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, but this was just like, you know, perfect for when he first started. Well, besides his first appearance in Civil War and everything. So yeah. Um. So how would you say like what do you think of Tom Holland playing the character overall? Like
He, I think he's a good actor for Spot. I think he is a good role. Sorry, I think he is a good actor for Spot for Peter Parker Spider Man. And he does pull it off quite well.
mm,
Sorry, I don't have anything really else to say about that, but yeah, he's a good actor for Peter Parker.
yeah, I think I mean like it's not really like a hot take. I know like some people can definitely agree with me now. He's like in my opinion my favorite live action Spider-Man just because of his character arc throughout his trilogy and stuff and the growth of the character. Yeah, and then I'd say, the ranking of the other Spider-Man. Toby's like second. So
I'd have to say Toby and Tom Holland are my first, and then Andrew Garfield is second, because actually kind of you can. It's hard to compare Tom Holland and Toby Maguire. They're both quite good as the role.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Um. Yeah, there's like really not that much to say about like how he plays the character in this movie. He just did it well. Um, the story was good. So yeah, and characters were also I think my favorite part of the movie pretty much. Michael Keaton's Vulture, probably one of the best live action, you know, adaptations of the Spider-Man villain. So yeah, I think I think I wouldn't say I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's like a better villain than Mysterio in my opinion from Far From Home, but he's definitely up there.
Mm,
He's yeah.
yeah, he is.
Um yeah, and then yeah, so the score was amazing and the ending probably my favorite part to be honest. Or maybe the beginning. Or just
Yeah,
like
the ending was
yeah.
good. Yeah, I liked how they didn't have Peter Parker dress up in the Iron Man, the Iron Spider suit. They just
Yeah.
gave a sneak peek of it for Infinity War,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I
and then and then we're and then when he does go home, puts on the Spider-Man suit, and then his aunt finds out, and let's just say that's the funniest part of it.
yeah, yeah, it was really funny. And I mean, I know a lot of people like don't like the fact that May went to at least like 3 movies. Well, obviously before spoiler alert, her death in No Way Home. Um, but I see some people complaining like how she, like I guess they're not like a big fan of her like knowing Peter's identity as Spider Man. But I think it was like pretty good to be honest. I think it went well for her death scene because to be honest, if she didn't know, I don't think her death would have happened like that way. So yeah.
Yeah, it was I think it was a lot better to have her know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man for the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a better idea than her not knowing. Otherwise, her death would have I don't know. I think it would have been more awkward. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would like not have that much like depth into it as it has now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and there's also like
So it did.
what was that?
Sorry, it was it had two post credit scenes that so technically it ended there, but the first post credit scene where we see Vulture in jail and talking to what
Oh yeah,
who's supposed should who
yep.
I'm pretty sure is going to be Scorpion. That was good. But then
Mm,
the second one after, which when I first watched in cinemas, I didn't actually see, where
mm.
it's just Captain America just talking. I
Oh
don't think that
yeah,
was as good.
yeah. Oh, I think I like genuinely forgot that there was a second post credit scene, but I did see the one
Same.
with Scorpion, so they could definitely use him for like the college trilogy.
I hope they do. I'll definitely
Yeah,
be there because I mean it is in my name, so I have to.
yeah, yeah. Obviously. But yeah, like I don't know, it's just the world building, like the world building for Vulture right now. It's not that good since like when Morbius came out and everything. So I don't really know like what direction they're gonna go in with this character. I think
I think they're gonna make a leader character, kind of maybe, because I think they're setting up another Sinister Six, even though they already set
yeah.
up one.
And the
But I
thing
think they're
is,
going to set up one
yeah,
with sorry, you go first.
yeah. I was gonna say yeah, and there's like a lot of plot holes and just like things that don't make sense at all. Cause like I get, cause all right, so we can obviously tell that Sony can set up a Sinister Six, right? But
Yeah,
so so they're making all these solo villain movies, blah blah, and was like Vulture gonna be in it? I think that's like the only like good villain that's gonna be in the team. Cause for Morbius, like well, this video is not really about Morbius, but I'll just say it, right? Um, First of all, like he's like, oh, I don't want to hurt nobody. Then when post credit scene comes up, oh, intriguing, he wants to join the team. It's like, I guess, kill Spider-Man or stop him, It's like, oh,
yeah,
didn't he just
maybe.
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Well, oh, sorry, you go first.
Yeah, but that's like pretty much it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think overall, I think I have to give Homecoming in general I think a 9.5 out of 10. I'd
Yeah.
say it's
For me, I put like yeah, probably like either 9 or 8, probably like 8.5 or something like that. Just because the next two I enjoyed more. Far From Home was a completely like different take. Not taking place in New York, not like well at least like not to the very end. Like taking place in a different country, and
yeah, that was a good idea.
yeah, and No Way Home,
And then of course No Way Home was
yeah,
just better than both of those movies.
and took place entirely in New York. Because Homecoming had like a tad bit in Washington D.C. So, but it wasn't like like a big plot device or anything. It was just like there
Mm.
to for more story. But yeah, so yeah, I gave it like a 8 point something out of 10, or like 8.5. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's a fair ranking for it.
yeah, and I think it's like definitely like probably the most like fun. Sorry, I have no idea that sound. Probably the most fun, to be honest. Well, besides No Way Home, like
Yes, definitely.
the most like rewatchable and everything.
Yeah, definitely the most rewatchable.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. Um, but yeah, there's like really nothing else to say about this movie. Just like a great, fresh take on the character. Tom
It's
Holland,
just
yeah,
a nice new start for the character.
yeah. Tom Holland plays the role really good. Spider-Man. The
And the villain is quite good.
yeah, the villain's quite good. The characters are good. His friends, and the
Yeah,
plot and the ending. So I think it's a pretty fresh. Probably like maybe like my top 10
yeah,
MCU movies.
overall, yeah, overall pretty good film.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, like my top probably like in my
well
top 10 MCU movies favorite.
I wouldn't say it's my top 10 MCU movies. I'd say it's my top 20.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because they have like a bunch of shows now, so it's like even harder to rank and stuff.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think that does it for our little review.
Our interview.
Yeah, our
Yeah, well,
homecoming.
review, not interview.
Yeah, our review of Homecoming. We gave our thoughts, and yeah.
Opinions.
So
And yeah, yeah.
you'll probably do this
Yeah,
again
so
for like another movie, right?
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to do now?
I mean, we could like do like maybe like one of oh, I don't know if you've seen like all Toby's movies. Kind of like you mentioned it, like you don't like really remember.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, I forgot.
yeah, we could
Wait,
do.
we could watch we could review Far From Home, the sequel to this.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, that'll be fun. But yes, that does it for our review. If you guys want more, just let us know. And yeah, so Super
See
Geek
you later.
Productions. Yeah, signing off.
And cool, Scorpion. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and well, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.